Hey guys, Dark Spare here, back with a new video. So today is another day trying to communicate with human beings about the truth and what's going on out here in this reality that we're all stuck in, this existence. And I'd like to talk about just today's news, or just I don't know, just different subjects basically. First, I want to just bring up the fact that what's going on in terms of the government, and just the fact that pedophiles are running this country, and it's very alarming that with this information out, people are still going on their everyday lives like nothing's wrong here. Like there's nothing sick and demented and twisted about this um, the system, the fact that we're just letting pedophiles basically run this country, evil pieces of crap, rich people, claiming ownership to things, you know, and it's fucking crazy, honestly. I mean, I can't believe it. I have to go to, I see other people going to work, trying to pay the bills, the taxes, and the government's run by pedophiles. you know Put that into perspective, how crazy this system is, this reality, how stupid human beings are. um, you know you don't have to go to college to have some kind of intelligence. I mean, just viewing the world with no biases and just looking at it for what it is. um, you see it and it's crap, it's unacceptable. And I think a lot of people are agreeing with that statements, that life sucks, life is crap, life is unacceptable, it's not worth it. Um, and and you can look at the animal kingdom and what they have to do every day. Uh, they're stuck in this evolutionary game of, consuming and reproducing over and over and over again in a environment that has many traps, many ways of ending one's life. And they're in this game constantly. Uh, they don't have intelligence, so they can't see over the maze and see where they are. Uh, what's their place in this existence? But we can. We can do that. We can look over the maze and see where we are. As a species, and obviously we're not heading anywhere. Nowhere near where civilization should be going to in terms of progressing to maximize comfort and minimize pain and suffering, right? We're not even trying to do that anymore. We're just increasing it year after year. And you see it with inflation, and that's another thing. Like, people think that inflation is the problem. A little bit of inflation is okay, but when it gets to this point where you can't even fucking, where a job doesn't even cut it anymore, yeah, it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem when people have to work three jobs just to afford the bare necessities as an individual. That's pretty fucking crazy, and I can't believe that these boomers, these older people, get to gaslight people like me for the circumstance that I'm in, even though I've been very responsible with my life. I haven't done anything reckless. I've been very careful with my decisions and what do I do with my life. And you see what happens. You see the fact that, okay, you do the things you're supposed to do. You're saving. You're not in debt. So you're not taking out credit cards to buy things you can't afford, and yet you're punished, right? Uh, and then the people that are getting welfare, and specifically the rich, from the government, because of the fact that they are investing in a economy that's not, there's no real growth, right? You see in the stock market all these companies growing. Oh, this company called Google's worth billions of dollars, even though it isn't really worth that much. It's not at all. And they're not even producing anything that's actual value. They aren't producing a product that someone's buying. They're not doing that. So it is crazy, honestly. It's insane that people like to gaslight individuals, like point the finger at who's to blame and stuff like that. And it's not that hard to see that you're in a system that is failing miserably. We are giving handouts to people to just sit on their ass and make money doing nothing, right? That's not fucking fair. Um, and then we have people that are doing jobs, right? They are working, but the job is bullshit. It's not even useful. It's not even needed in this society, and yet they're getting paid like fucking six figures. It's retarded. These little things that you see in the system that is clearly not working. It's not making any fucking sense. People will argue that it's working as intended, but it really isn't. It was, the FDIC insurance was set up for a purpose, to make this whole banking system legitimate, and now it's completely ruined by the rich. So this is why we're in this mess where we're basically a lot of people, not me including, but because I don't take out loans to buy stuff or get myself into debt, but there's a lot of people that do that to get their basic needs like a mortgage, a car note, all these things just to live, just to do the bare, just the everyday things they need to do in order to survive in this system. If you live in the suburban areas, you do need a car to travel from point A to point B. And if you don't have that, then yeah, it's going to be a very stressful. It's going to be a lot of struggle. Um, it's just crazy. I mean, you can look at it at all angles. So if you look at the economy, the fact that it's run by evil pedophiles, the fact that it's unsustainable, you know, stock market's all bullshit, and it's not going to look good, man. In the future, it's going to be very bleak. The future's gonna like someone's gonna have to deal with it, and that's you know. So the fact that consciousness arises and stuff like that, and you just are forced into existence and stuff like that, why would you think that you're any different than any other individual that can feel, right? So when you put that into his perspective, and if once you understand that, even if you die, you're going to come back to this world as a different individual, and memory wipe. So you're going to rise back again, and then you're going to be in a worse situation because the system's going to be completely fucked. So it's really important you know to understand this, because the future is ahead of us, and with this economy and the way it is, it's going to be a nightmare. If you guys ever watched or read the book The Road, that's what's gonna I predict that's what's gonna happen in this fucking civilization. People are just gonna be like just thinking about survival. Um, and it's gonna be fucking horrible. It's gonna be very violent, very brutal. Um, you know, and people are still having kids. People are still bringing kids in this world, thinking that this system's sustainable. And a lot of people that are intelligent can see the system that they were forced in, and it's completely broken. It's dysfunctional. It doesn't reward people with integrity. It rewards selfish, individualistic schemers that just care about themselves. And you know, as long as they're rich, as long as they can get maximized full comfort and stuff like that, and say fuck everyone else, then that's it, for a lot of rich people. So it's crazy. I mean, you know, when is people going to wake up to the fact that, the rich are the problem? The fact is that, we have a system that's unsustainable. Uh, it doesn't even look like anyone really has any, um, what's the word? I guess confidence in the system, because a lot of people are starting to realize. I mean, people should have been realizing this very soon. As soon as 2020 happens, people should have lost all confidence in the system. But um, you know, it's is insanely remarkable that we're alive now. we are sentient beings and we could do this recording thing, if, speaking our mind about what the hell is going on around us. And it's intriguing to me that there's still a lot of ignorant children that are commenting in my comment section, telling me that the system's okay. It's just me that's not okay, and it's just hilarious because you could draw the picture, point it out to them, and stuff like that, and they'll just come up with delusions and rationalizations, and they'll keep voting for a system because they've invested a lot of their money and time in the system, and that's why they're going to keep voting for it. It's just pitiful, man. Seriously. How many times do people have to fail, struggle to get to nowhere? A lot of people are just chasing their desires, their goals, and that's it. That's what else is people doing? Are people really trying to come up with solutions, or are they just focusing on their own goals because this is their one life, and you know everyone's told them you should be chasing your dreams, and you should be chasing happiness and stuff like that. And in a world like this where the situation is very dire, climate change is something that is not being tackled at all. Food disparities, people having to opt into shitty food and stuff like that because all the good stuff for you is too expensive and unaffordable for a lot of people. I mean, how bad does it have to get before people finally realize, oh shit, we're getting duped, we're getting fucked in the ass, and we're letting this shit ride for too long. We're allowing the rich to be basically too greedy, too fucking self-centered. No human being should need to have multiple houses for one individual. It's just retarded, and I can't even believe how people just see no problem with that. Like, that's something to be acceptable. I mean, if you're an individual that's like that needs to have that much fucking wealth, what the fuck is wrong with you? Your brain clearly does not work at all. I mean, you are so fucking high maintenance. Like, you should just, like, why the fuck are you here? I mean, seriously, holy shit. If you have to own multiple houses and stuff like that, that's when you're just too high maintenance. It's just, what's the fucking point? Um, but yeah, it's just, I don't know what to say. I mean, in terms of, we can talk about this, and not many people are going to be listening to these videos, unfortunately, because yeah, the truth sucks. It's not comfortable. It's it's hard to live your everyday life, acting like everyone else, like chasing their fucking goals and stuff like that. And you're seeing the world for what it is, and it's so hard to even communicate with some people because people are just too ignorant. There's a lot of people that are just way too ignorant to be able to even communicate with, and they just don't have an open mind. They're just very closed-minded, and yeah, it becomes very difficult to communicate with human beings when you're just trying to have a civil conversation. You're trying to be serious about the subject. There's a lot at stake here. It's no joke. You know, and I'm saying this because I do care about the future and the repercussions of that. The repercussions of the fact that we have so much horrible shit going on, and there's very little accountability, and just crazy, man. I mean, it's insane. I mean, there's so many people I'm talking to that are around my age that are struggling to find their place in this world because yeah, it's too expensive. This existence uh is over. It's just way too much. We're paying way too much basically to live, and the prices paid for this existence is a lot of pain and suffering. So, um, yeah, I can't believe as a civilization where a lot of human beings can actually do some simple math like 2 plus 2 equals 4. They have that capacity to do that with their brain, and yet they cannot add up the facts of what they see in the world. They can't add up facts of what they're hearing, like the fact that the government is run by pedophiles. And instead of just going on with your everyday life, you should be a little bit angry. You should, that's a rational response to hear something like that. You should be a little angry that your government's run by pedophiles. You shouldn't be pretending like you're in a system that cares about you when it's literally fucking kids and eating them. So it's hilarious. It's very hypocritical. Like, there's so many people have told me that I'm the problem, or I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing that, and it's like, can you fucking see the world for what it is? Like, can you see that the fact that we're in a broken system, and the world isn't made for people like me. It isn't made for people that are honest and they want to do the right things. They want to play fair. They don't want to cheat. I don't want to cheat people. I don't want to fucking make people losers just so I can have comfort. I'm not an asshole. Because I know that if something like that would hurt them, why would it not make any sense that it would hurt me too if that same exact thing happened to me, right? It's common sense. It should be logical to understand that, and yet people are just dumbfounded and they can't fucking figure it out. They think everyone has different realities. No, you're stuck in the same reality. You're stuck on the same planet, it's trapped. Okay, these rich people are just deluding themselves. They're chasing their psychology. They're stuck in this loop, of pleasure chasing. That's it. And they're not seeing the world for what it is and what they're stuck in. So it's easy for them to just pretend it away and just cope with drugs and women and money, gambling, whatever it is. It makes it very easy to forget the reality that you're stuck in. So it's fucking crazy, man. It really is. You know, how do you communicate to this idea, this philosophy to people that can't handle it? They can't handle the truth, or they just want to run away because they have invested so much time and money in the system. They invested so much in this life, and they want to defend it, basically. It's not something to defend because, again, as I stated, it's run by corruption, run by evil shit that's happening in the system. So to pretend like it's something good or something to be defending, you're just wrong. You're an idiot. It's not something to be defending. It's not something to pretend like it's a equal fair game. It's not. It's very obvious, and a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are struggling with bills, specifically right now in this time and day and age. Everything's gone so expensive, and we're not seeing any real solutions, really. There's only really two options. You can only do your part and talking about the truth and talking to people, be real and honest, truthful to people, and and that's really it. We can't keep pretending like things are not, like there's no real problems here. Like there's truly a lot of real problems going on, and we have to stop pretending like there's nothing going on here. So, but till then, I mean, I have to keep doing this. I have to. This is the right thing to do, is to keep talking about what's going on in this life. And just the fact of life and the fact that we are just biological robots stuck on a planet, pretty much doing animalistic things every day, and there's no real purpose here. I mean, you can look around, you see what the animals are doing. It's obvious. I mean, it's just consumption, reproduction, and they're just addicted, and just like us. And you see the parasitism too, relationships and all that stuff. It's no different than us. This is all we're doing on this planet. We're not, we're gonna keep chasing these delusions, acting like these accomplishments are worth it. Like, oh, I want to be remembered. I want to, like, this is all ego shit. This is what you're chasing. You're just chasing this perception that you're achieving something here. The real goal, the real achievement should be to end suffering, right? So that's the direction we should be moving to, the right direction, not the wrong direction where we perpetuate pain and suffering, because it's a net negative. It's not gonna. There's no real benefit to constant pain and suffering. Okay, even the ones that do build character from the pain and suffering, they're still going to die and experience pain and suffering. So it's futile. That's the whole point. That's the point I'm trying to make. The point is, this life is futile. It's not going to lead anywhere good. And because of this tool we have, because of evolution, of being able to have intelligence, of these, be able to actually talk about this, be able to think about this subject, you should be able to understand the severity of this situation. So, that's all I got for today. Guess I'll talk to you guys later.